Hello guys, welcome to another episode on Confessions and Deep Secrets. I am going to be reading to you a message from a brother from Cameroon. His confession goes like this. Good evening, my sister. I have a confession to make. I worked as a mortuary attendant in a very renowned hospital in Cameroon. It was never my dream to become a mortuary attendant, but life left me with no choice. After looking for a job to no avail, I came across this job on a Facebook page. There was a vacancy for a mortuary attendant. I decided to apply beyond all odds. After I deposited my application, I was called the next day to come for an interview. When I arrived there, the man that was doing the interview asked me if I was ready for the job. I said yes. He asked me because the job was actually a very scary one, which most people did not want to do. I was the only one that applied for that job. The employer asked me to go home and think about that job again and then return after 2 days to give him my opinion. After 2 days, I returned there and the employer asked me if I was ready and I said yes. This is how I started to work as a mortuary attendant. On the first day of the job, he taught me some basic things I had to do before entering the mortuary. For example, I had to knock 3 times before entering into the mortuary. My job there was to clean and dress up the dead bodies for their families. The job was not paying me much, but I and my family survived with it. On my way back home one day, I noticed a car following me. It was already dark, so I started to run. Then the car stopped. When I arrived home, I called my boss to let him know about what happened and that I won't be able to make it at work the next day because I was afraid of what might happen. When I resumed work, my boss personally took me home that day, but we didn't encounter anybody following us. Everything became normal again until after 2 weeks. I noticed a man following me. I tried to run, but he started to say that he meant no harm and that I should wait. I then stopped to give him a listening ear. The man told me he wants to have a secret with me. He said that he wants me to start selling him water I get from washing those dead bodies. The man seemed to be a ritualist. He offered to pay me very huge sums of money so that I must start selling him the water. The money was 5 times better than my salary. I rejected the money and left. I continued again with my job like nothing ever happened. While I was at work one day, I received a call from my wife saying that my son was involved in a terrible accident. I immediately rushed to the hospital. His condition was critical. My son needed urgent surgery and I didn't have the money. I tried to raise some money from family and friends, but it wasn't enough. I suddenly received a call from that same man that wanted water from dead bodies. I wondered for a second if someone had told him about what I was facing at the moment. The man said he would double the money he wanted to pay me the last time. He further said that he was the one that made my son to have an accident since I refused to deal with him and that my son would die if I don't comply with him. I therefore told him that we should meet the next day at night after work. The next day, when I arrived at work, I managed to save up a liter of water from the dead bodies I washed without the knowledge of my boss. I contacted the man and handed it over to him. The money he paid me was 5 times better than my salary. I used the money to pay for my son's surgery. That was the first time I ever sold water from dead bodies to anyone. I thought it would be the last time, but the man contacted me again that he wants me to keep supplying him, but this time around along with his friends. The money I have been earning from this is very much. I have even completed the construction of my house and opened a business for my wife.